Afternoon. This is Nita and Miss Panda with the Timepiece Garden. She's hanging out on the other side of the fence on patrol. And I'm here in the garden. So it's a whole 53 degrees out there. I've reached my high. And the goal is to always get at least one thing done a day, every day. And today it's going to be the asparagus. So, long-term goal has always been to make it a long, thin row. When you stand like this is the uphill side. And when I pick asparagus from this side, I'm leaning over uphill going downhill. One, I feel like I'm going to fall over because I'm top heavy. And two, it's like having to bend over by 3 feet. Where if we come over this side, this is the bottom side where, again, I put the bricks in. Does that make sense? And when I bend over up the hill, I'm only bending over like 1.5 feet. So the goal is to move my asparagus bases, or at least attempt to. Hi, Miss Panda Bears. Are you the supervisors? You could come check it out. Tell me to get busy. Get busy, get to work. Okay, thanks. So the goal is to see if I can move my clumps, does that make sense, into one long, thin row. And that way, I only ever have to stay on the downhill side to harvest. Now, having said that, asparagus don't like to be moved. I know there are a lot of people who complain that when they try and get asparagus roots from like one of the box stores, they never grow when they die. It's because they don't like their roots to be messed with. So it's a real possibility that all of these here at the upper end, that I'm going to kill them trying to move them. I am trying to do it like a tree, where they go to sleep in one area, wake up in another area, and if I'm lucky, I'll be able to do that. And if not, I will just be replanting this bed come spring. Why? Because I like asparagus. And my little patch here, while it's awesome, gives me enough to have asparagus, but not enough to can or dry or do anything with it. So I can't even, dry and then powder and make asparagus soup. Things that I want to do. So that's what we're going to do today. This is today's goal, is to pull some weeds, turn the soil, dig a nice little holy trench right here on this side, and then move. It looks about 3 clumps at least to just fill in this area here. So, wish me luck. I'm also going to cut them all back and get them ready for spring cleanup. So, that's what we're doing. Talk to you in a few. All right, there's a spring clean bed. So if you remember from last year, the whole reason for doing this is long term is to give me a walkway up here, slide the fence down this way to the left, because I don't need a 4-foot walkway up here, so I can make a walkway on the back row. So everything that I do is leaning uphill, not downhill. It's the long-term goal. So having said that, this is all cleared up. Cleared out the weeds, cleared out the scrub, whatever. You can tell where from where I'd put the bricks in, had already measured out where this row goes, and you can tell from the logs, and then it zips out, and then it zips back in, again, from where I'd already measured it out. Probably see it better like that. There's this log, and if you look, there's about 5 asparagus crowns that have to be moved, to get everything back inside where it's supposed to be. And that's the only thing I actually have to do today. I don't have to lay the new plastic down. I can do that, say, after I'm done planting trees or whatever. After I'm done running hoses. It doesn't matter. Because I've still got wooden stuff to clean up down here. Progress a piece at a time. But that's what we're doing today, is moving those 5 crowns. I'm going to put 3 of them here, and 2 of them down there at the far end. Moving my soil in, moving those logs in, and just kind of moving everything in so it's in the bed in its single file row, which is what I need. Because long term, when these logs all rot down, the bricks are here. Does that make sense? And that's where the bed actually becomes. So it's that one there. Yeah, that one there becomes the last row versus all of this. Does that make sense? It'll be there, and then as the logs go down, they'll be able to spread and move here. So that's cool. All right, anyway, that's what a clean bed looks like. Time to dig a trench and move some crowns. Talk to you in a few. All right, that's the last 2 crowns. And if you notice, asparagus, 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 and you can see how white they are, it's because this was ground level. Same thing here. It's time, you know. Based off of that, I'm probably a little late. Whew! Goodness, but they're up. Goodness. All right, so let me get these guys in the ground, and then I'll come back and I'll get that one. Get everybody buried. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of my mulch and then cover it in some mulch since I've removed the leaves and the weeds that were over here. And then, yeah, call it a day. When I came out, it was sunny. Clouds have moved in, so it's getting chilly quick. But I had to get this done, you know? All right. So if they make it, it's gonna be some good eating. Talk to you in a few. Alrighty, there's one there, there's one there, there's one over there, so there's 3 on this side. Whew. There's the 2 there that wouldn't come apart, that had the starts on it. There's one there, and then there's one kind of under the cage that broke off from one of them. So, whew, and I'm a little out of breath. It's a lot of digging. Alright, I'm going to stick these boards, or these logs, back into place. Kind of here where there's a dip now, because that's where the bricks will go long term. Move the rocks out of the way. I'm also going to go get some compost. All these guys will get some compost, and then I'll take all the leaves that I kind of moved out of the way, and I'll spread them back out over the compost, back around the asparagus. So the little tips, like that one you can see that's sticking out. Does that make sense? We'll have compost and leaf on him, and we'll just help to keep him protected. All right, and from there we just wait and see. They will either take off, you know, and not even know they've been moved and produce well, or they'll die. And if they die, I have seeds. All the way to I have plenty in the house, but even while I was cleaning, I found seeds. So, you know, again, long term, this whole roll will be asparagus. That way I can eat it, I can can it, I can dehydrate it, I can make asparagus soup. And the few, I think there's 3 of them. Where you at? Let's zoom out, see if I can find you. There it is. Garlic. Well, there's 3 of them that are like that. Move them over with the fruit trees, and just let them go wild, kind of thing. You know, be part of that zone of defense against the voles and the moles. Anyway, let me go get some compost, and I'll talk to you later. Alrighty, compost is in place to make sure all the ground's leveled out, and everything that has been moved and or the ones that they were up against have all got plenty of compost. That makes sense. So they'll be like, oh, I've lost a friend, but I got food. And then I went and scattered leaves back on it, you know, just to help keep them semi-safe. Put the logs back in place at the shorter end. And yeah, that's where we're at. Having said that, I've lost the sun completely. It has gotten cold, so I'm done. And I'm done. Again, they will either survive, and I'm going to have a really good asparagus pass this year, or they'll die, and I will start again from seed. You know, either way, I will have asparagus. It likes growing here from the original patch size. It likes it here. This is its spot, the same way that is my onion spots. My onions have absolutely no problems hanging out here. You know? Even I'm coming all the way down here. Even the baby ones that were moved all the way down here, so I could have an 8-foot section, they're enjoying it. You know? And if I look out, if I get mouse melons that grow back here, I will be digging them up. Does that make sense? Because this is all supposed to be onions, and when the mouse melons grow, they create too much shade right there and too much competition. So that's the plan. And with that, I'm going to say my blueberries. I don't know if you can see it. See the red in the stems? See how they're turning red? That means they're starting to wake up. They're not awake yet. They've not budded out. But they're thinking about it. Do you know? Awesomeness. All right. Anyway, it's cold. I'm chilly. I'm done. Miss Panda's checking out the mole that was checking out the compost pile. And she and I will talk to you later.